Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Thomas Sim, PA2066. Today is 18th of July 2023. I would like to do a video recording on issues of new negotiator or new agent coming to the market and what are the issues that they actually would face. Let me begin. Hi, welcome to my channel. Video taking 162. Dilemma of a new agent. What's next? What can you do about it? I'm Thomas Sim, PA2066. Today is 18th of July 2023. These slides were produced about a few days ago when I attended the Expo Sheda Expo, Sarawak Property Expo in BCCK Kuching. So as we know, there were not many booths or exhibitors as compared to those years like 2014, 2015, during that time when a lot of hypes, a lot of activities happening, and nowadays you don't see as much exhibition. And what are the reasons and what are the things that are challenges to the industry? Of course, we know that over the recent years, a lot of social media advertising and a lot of people actually go to YouTube, TikTok, and all those things. So all these factors that may have impacted onto exhibition on a physical format in the sense of holding it in a sport or in a roadshow. So increasing use of the internet and all the social media may actually mean to say that if you are a conventional buyer and you go to the expo and make your purchase, nowadays you may want to actually surf online or do the browsing online or talk to your agent online rather than going to an exhibition. In the old days, we used to do newspaper and talk to the agents on the face-to-face basis. Nowadays, we actually don't do that anymore. We, in fact, go through social media, go through the advertising on the social media instead of actually talking to a physical person. And that means we have sub-selected in the sense that what we want, a lot of information are online, and not necessarily you have to go face-to-face to meet up with the agent. So this is changes and it's ongoing, and we are looking at all these impacting a new agent who is coming in to join this industry. Let me maybe use this video taking as a summary for all the recent thoughts that I have on the challenges of a new agent. Let me begin. So back to 2019, June 28, I did a video on 3 dilemmas of an estate agent. In that time, we actually talk about all this back to even 4 to 5 years ago, where the main issue would be a lot of negotiators and agents in the market, and there is very hard to see differentiation, specialization, or who is who, as the service of an agent doesn't really matter, as our main focus is the property, right? If you have a good property, in fact, you do not need an agent. If you have a lousy property, whatever agent that is doing it, you may get backfired by the issues of the property. So actually, the market, the public is looking at is the property as a product, but then the agent doing a service may not be given the same weightage. And at the same time, we have issues like personal choice between customer to customer. In this case, the prospect may like him or not her, or prospect prefer to deal with a particular person. A lot of time, this particular person may have impressed onto this prospect. Of course, that is his salesmanship or her advantage over the competitor agent. We also, in fact, talk about another topic, which is more recent video taking, which is wasted negotiation. A lot of time, a lot of negotiation actually are wasted, and during this wasted negotiation, are you able to benefit from it? So a lot of time we know that when we see one customer, it may turn us down, and then later on number 2 prospect, number 3 prospect also turned us down, and only number 5th prospect resulted in a deal. So in the process of the prospect 1 to prospect 5, are we benefiting for all this effort that we have put in? So the example of using an advertising platform like iProperty or Mudah.my, in fact, it's more than just having this customer step forward or having a prospect that step forward. You collect your data, or you collect your effort of advertising over time, and that means you are showing to other prospects that you have all these years of experience and all this interaction with the other customers. So all this will earn you trust and earn you the credibility to be a future agent for other prospects, right? So this is what it means to put on this slide. What do you have in control? In control here means that the wasted negotiation, are you in control of using those parts of the effort that you have put in to improve your reach to your targeted audience? So this means that over time the data collected will be a lot more, and you do have a brand on yourself, and this is available only if you are doing it in a platform or physical ways, like putting a poster, putting a billboard. Over time it wears off, but when you put onto a platform or a data collecting website, then this website will last forever, unless you don't want to keep it anymore. All this data in the website can actually last for ages. So this is what was discussion during the earlier video on wasted discussion. What can you do? What is next that you can do about it? So these are the two main videos that I look back at, and also want to highlight to this particular video recording that many of these factors are actually unchanged. You cannot change, and in 5 years ahead also you will be looking at the same issue. So can you take the animal by its horn and then think about it and do something for your future advantage? So what is next? In the earlier video taking, I like to give you a summary. Is actually a directional issue of how you're going to move forward as a new agent. So in fact, the actual thinking should be the process is a mean to an end. So the end, of course, here means that you want to be a successful agent, but the mean to an end here is actually more of a method to do it. So how is your method differ from others? So my suggestion actually point to info technology, infotech, and then using a platform or physical way of looking at it is you have a interaction with the client, and then you migrate all this interaction onto a platform. So all this platform will collect all your data, and over time you have craft out your own advantage, and that is a value creation to your potential clients. And at the end, our job as an agent is to do marketing and promotion for ourselves, as well as the product that we carry. The product here is the property that we carry. Our service is estate agency and trying to solve a problem of our clients. So our topic today is dilemma of a new agent. So I try to summarize the previous slides and the previous talk into one single concise manner, as in understanding this issue of a new agent coming to a real estate industry, having a very high expectation to do a successful career, and then over the next few months the agent may be depressed or disappointed with the issue that they face. And the issues that they face, I am going to go in, dissect every one of it, and give you my true feeling and also my true solution, if I can, to help you up on to your new journey. So let us see, actually a new agent, when it comes to the job of a estate negotiator or a new agent coming to a service industry like ours, only to realize that he doesn't actually get all the hot properties to sell. He may get a lousy property to sell, and therefore his service is not the product. That is, he has to accept the fact that it is his service and not the product. Sometimes you cannot change what type of engagement you have. You can refuse to take all these lousy products, but at the end you have to realize that Well, as an agent, it is your service, not the product that matters. A good product doesn't need an agent very much. All good hot deal doesn't really go through an agency. It goes direct from a seller or owner to the purchaser who actually queue up. So you see developer sales where customer queue up to their office, then you actually know that there is no place for you as an agent. No need to have an agent to actually sell those products because customers are already queuing in front of the office. So you have to realize that this job as an agent, you are delivering a service and not a product. Second is the limited differentiation. From agent to agent, there is not much differentiation that you can see. Maybe age-wise, a younger agent may have a group of friends who are younger, and the elderly agent may have a group of sellers, they are vendors, because they are old and they have paid off their property and they want to exit to make money to get out of the property that they hold and enjoy their remaining retirement life. So limited differentiation here means that as in developing your business, there's not much difference from one agent to another. You can't run away from looking at all these mass media and also going to maybe the common way is like roadshow or developer sales, where most agents are doing this type of job. And it's hard to actually see any differentiation. If you are a new agent in an agency selling a developer project, then you would find that a lot of your peers or your Me Too agents are selling the same launches, the same developer projects. And characteristic of our trade is that we are dealing with expensive item. We are not dealing with item that is 100 ringgit, 200 ringgit. We are actually selling item which is 100,000, 200,000, even 1 million type of item. So it's an expensive item, and you do not expect that people will do trading or buy and sell this type of item every day. And therefore, you may actually have certain time of the low season where you can't actually have income. So these are dilemma whereby should you stay on or should you leave the industry and do something else. So this is the problem of dealing with sales of a property which is a high price item. And number 4, we have issues nowadays that a 20-year-old agent doesn't seems to differ compared to a 2-year-old agent. You are looking at these challenges by people are actually seeing your presence in the media as in a 2-year-old equivalent to a 20-year-old agent. So how do you overcome this issue by giving an impression to your potential prospect that you are an experienced agent? So this there are a lot of things that you need to think about on this particular front, whereby everybody appear the same. You have to think of something that you are different from others. Some people do dancing, some people do singing by selling property. So this is creativity, and of course it is your position, how you're going to do it on your own. Number 5, a lot of time we have a lot of undecided prospect that just a window shopper. They actually don't rush themselves for a decision. They are not the low-lying fruit type of customer where they are identified as immediate decision maker to make a close of your sales. But it seems to be the case now, because a lot of them who come forward are attracted by the gimmicks thrown in by these developer companies, and then those advertising actually draw them to come in to have a look, but then they are not exactly thinking of buying. So these are big issues where your target, you may have only a success rate of less than 2% or 1% when a lot of the potential call-in customers or so-called window shoppers are actually not ready to buy. And the reason also tied to the issue of expensive investment onto properties. Not many can afford, therefore they only call you and check, but then they are not in the category which is able to immediately make a decision because they do not have the earnest deposit to pay for a down payment. So you tend to have a lot of wasted advertising, wasted advertisement. You spend a lot of marketing budget, but then you are not seeing the marketing expenses that you have spent on actually resulted in your potential clients stepping forward to have a close of your deals. So this wasted advertising or wasted advertisement, in fact, is getting worse nowadays, as in more expensive advertising. Advertising cost has gone up a lot, and therefore a lot of time agents are now sharing all these advertising costs with the group. Maybe it's 2 or 3 agents coming together and trying to save on the cost of advertising because the product are the same. So they are trying to do one advertisement and having 2 or 3 agents sharing out this advertising cost. So these are issues that you may think easy to do, but then you may be wasting a lot of budget on doing this advertisement, resulting in no uptake. We have also issue number 7, that disruptions and shortcuts, because all the competition of the agents would disrupt the market. They happen to see a customer they want to keep, then they can even do all kinds of illegal or bad promises that are trying to get a shortcut. Some even give out ang pao, some given rebates to their customers so that they can hopefully gain the customer to come back. So all these are disruptions that is in the market, and you actually cannot avoid. Many of them doing it because they are selling the similar product. Like I said earlier on, the same issue happened, and on top of all these issues, you have disruption that causes even more difficult situation to control the market. Illegals are in the market as well, and the part on the illegals also would disrupt the normal practice of doing it correctly. And the part on agents' costs are increased in the terms of petrol costs, doing jam up in the traffic, to print poster, to hang up poster, you need to pay for the printing, and all that are marketing budgets that is eating into the agent's income. We have multiple overlaps of project also, because the project is in developers side are actually almost a similar size and a similar type, and there's not much of characteristic that each launches can very much outshine the others. Apart from location, it is about size of the units which are becoming smaller and smaller. Things are becoming more expensive because the construction costs and also the material cost has gone up tremendously. All that makes the issues very complicated at the time where we are looking at bank loans are harder to get because the interest rate has gone up, and the legal charges nowadays, I heard from West Malaysia, the solicitors remuneration amendment just recently showed that it's going to increase in the legal fees. So all that are reasons, that factors that actually impacted on the part of the job of a negotiator or a new agent. And this is what I summarize here as dilemma of a new agent. Let us progress to another 2 more parts that I want to discuss before we talk about certain way or solution that you can think of to overcome all these issues. Let us look at the product that we sell. The supply side, developer and owners. Most of the supply side, as in the case of project sale, is quite identical. How identical stocks, and they are also cost strict because of the reason that the major cost of construction and the material cost has gone up, and a lot of developer can't be paying the salary of the staff, so they actually contract out all this selling job to the agency firm. By tsunami of agents, numbers of negotiators, this taken care of by the agency firms, but all the agency firms are doing the same product, doing the same item, which is from the same developer. So there are stereotypes of packages, not much difference. So by buying from agent A, from a developer appointed agent, or buying from agent B from another agency similarly appointed by of the same package, so not much of issues in terms of you want to specialize or you want to highlight yourself as being special. So that part, if you are selling a project sale, just be assured that there is a lot of competitors, agents are doing the same product. Then everyone is talking about marketing, putting a lot of budget onto spending in the marketing of the media, and that part, whether you would want to target those market or not, and therefore it's hard for also a new developer to entry of this business, because there are requirement under the developers licensing and compliance is very high barrier to new developers. So next, we look at the demand side, or what are the buyer side. Most of the issues happen on the price disparity between the expected pricing and the price that is sold. Most people cannot afford these expensive new launches. In KL, you can get a small one studio size apartment in the town area at about cost of a 3-bedroom apartment in outskirts. So equivalent of 3 times the price. So you can get an apartment, let's say at 500,000 in smaller city. In KL, you can only get a studio apartment. So this is the comparison. So most people cannot afford. And then when they rent it, also the rental may not be comfortable within the range of their salary, because the salary of the new graduate is around 3,000 or just below 3,000, and therefore the prices of the property to get back the investment prices of the property of 500,000, the rental rate per month has to be beyond 2,000, some of it. So beyond 2,000, you only left with 1,000 ringgit to live and stay in KL. That is not possible, been sacrificed. So this is difficult. And low and medium end, most of the houses or residential homes, that is more low or medium ends are far away. So these are again problem where you have a location that is far away, harder to sell this type of property because it's not convenient for them to go to work. And practical use versus dream also is an issue. A lot of time people tend to have a dream of an ideal home at an ideal price, but that is not ideal anyway, and therefore they cannot have a property that is actually available at that pricing as well as that location. So a lot of time this means that people would tend not to buy, and when they don't buy, they actually would see that inflation and time or would be against them in the future, never afford. So this in China is already a major issue. But most people cannot afford to buy a home. Of course, the part on convenience and transport, in some places due to government infrastructure building with MRT, LRT, certain places they become convenient to transport, and therefore those areas, the transit development type would actually solve some of the key problem. So area of outskirts but with good transportation would actually meant to be a good investment area for new homes, new houses. We also have a customer looking for multiple use and investment purpose. So if these are the product types that are trying to so-called satisfy the demand of multiple use and for investment of the prospects. So let us see what are the solutions that is possible for you as a new negotiator or new agent in the market. So the key issues of the agent I want to summarize is that there is a lot of Me Too versus differentiation. Are you a so-called Me Too agent or are you a different agent? And most agents will have problem in opening up a conversation because most of the time people are not in the mood of buying property. So when you say, sir, do you want to buy a property? Most people would not want to commit because by committing to your opening statement of buying property, it will be endless issue of telling you that he is not able to buy or he is currently not in the state of buying. So he would avoid. So opening a conversation talking about property for a property agent is difficult choice whether you want to start doing opening statement like that, or you prefer to do something else, and then later on when the prospect talk about property, only then you review that you are selling property. It's like in the earlier days, our insurance agent, when they start talking about buying insurance, people shy away, people avoid this agent. So this is a issue in really on the ground. A new segment of clients. Most of us are in the sector of dealing with our friends and relatives. These are the close segment of clients that we have. Do we have new segment of clients or not? A new agent would want to look at this as to venture out to his new segment of customers. And that is difficult because an agent only can know his own friends and relatives and workers who actually, these are the limited numbers. So how are you going to enter into a new segment of market unless you have a way out to do it, or else it's not a systematic way that you can actually venture into a new segment. Unless you are a teacher, you usually won't see other teachers. You don't go to school and queue in front of the school and try to get to know all the school teachers. And they also have no time for you as a teacher in the school. So therefore, knowing a new segment of client is actually something which a lot of agents wants to venture into, but there is a lot of issues how to do it correctly and how to do it in a sustainable manner. And next is that when you have the segment of client, how to keep your client and scale up to have more clients. Of course, by referral. So the agent A talk to client A, and then the client A refer client B to the same agent. So this is scaling more, and it usually is about the same scenario like the school teacher. When the school teacher talk to their colleague, then they can refer you to their colleague, you see. But how to get to the school teacher, how to enter a market where you do not have anyone that is able to become your mouthpiece to talk about you in front of other friends. So that is a strategy and that you got to think about for yourself. And then last is that the issue is most of the time for us as an agent, especially new agent, is that we are very much reactive to advertising. So we put up advertisement and people will call you and you become reactive to an advertisement. Do you have a more active or proactive way of approach to get your new customer? Are we all waiting for a prospect to step forward, or are we going out to get the prospect by active mode of strategy to get to them? So this is something which a lot of us want to do, but we do not have a way to do it. Right, so I would now use the example of Fine Hui. It not necessarily may not be the only one, and it may be just an example for you to look into how you go around this issue, how it solves the dilemma problem. So number one is that Fine Hui is a multiple agents community type of platform. So it doesn't only talk to just estate agent or just people who are into real estate. So multi-agent here means it includes other types of agent, in the sense financial agent, fund agent, or insurance agent, estate planners, all the service repair specialists, plumbers, electrician, even the outlets, those people who have got food outlets. These are people, food critics, go to do video recording on this food outlet. So these food critics are also part of the community inside Fine Hui. And the tour agent, tourist guide, also they are the group of people we are inviting into Fine Hui. So all these people who can become your mouthpiece to go and promote you to other types of businesses. Of course, the other types of businesses may see the need of property, may not see the need of property, but you are given the platform to, in fact, shout out to all these potential clients that you have in the different types of business sectors. Number two is that the Finehui is a service-driven types of platform. It talks about service. So we group people who are more on service rather than selling product. And this service mindset, people who has got service mindset can actually work together because they understand the importance of referring good service to their client. So if you happen to see a potential buyer of a property, but you yourself not a real estate person, you can refer to a real estate negotiator or a real estate agent, whereby a real estate agent seeing a customer who needs financial products may refer to a financial planner to actually solve this client's intention in that sense to get a financial product for investment. And the third part is that the Finehui is a geo-link type of business where one business is linked to another business in the close location, a proximity of area, and therefore you are able to group all these businesses among each other, referring to each business for the reason that they are close by. And this close by means people can live in a more comfortable quality of life for not being caught up in traffic and also not having to travel very far. So looking for a good plumber, you want a plumber to stay around the same area, so no need to come in by driving a long distance. And looking for a good tuition outlet, tuition school, then you send your kids to tuition at a close by area rather than going to a far away place. So all these are geo-link advantages. We Finehui talking about commercial outlets, including outlets like grocery store, outlets like bakery store, eateries. All these people are having to do it every day because it is a necessity and essential things that every day we do, and therefore we are getting the feedback from these very closely niche commercial outlets. And the part is that we are in Finehui looking at different types of segments of market into area more like service related or car sale as well as car rental as well in the Finehui platform. So all these grouped together would open up for agent, a new agent to look for their targeted outlets. So you as an agent, as a negotiator coming to a new area, start knowing your commercial outlets, visit them. They may be interested to open up branches, or they may be looking for another alternative rental branch for them to locate their business, as well as they themselves may need to rent a place to stay for the workers, as well as for the types of businesses like factories. If you have factories, industrial area, then you may have also workers who require hostel or place of accommodation. So we are looking into all these integrated into one platform in order to benefit people on the ground, and as well as agents who help out doing their service, help out all these commercial outlets. Thank you. I am Thomas Sim. I have a few platforms. I do an online self-study website called the estateagentexam.com. I have the contract2you.com platform for ranking of properties by comparative index. I also do Finehui.info onto the far right-hand side for the geo-linking of businesses. Most of the videos you can obtain at the website called My Real Property Online. Maybe I can conclude now in the similar manner that while joining a new industry, you need to understand major players of the industry, major parts of the industry. You need to understand your position to create value, to be able to show off your ability in the survival of your business. So we tend to see a lot of wasted negotiation in our job as a real estate person. And part of that is that the being wasted, we must look into how to solve this issue by collecting data and collecting the interaction with our clients over time, so that we document it, and in the future, your potential prospects can see that you have been working with track record over the years. The current state of the issue of the real estate business is that new agents coming to business would face issues of competition, and they actually have a dilemma whether they should continue or not in the industry. So this particular video taking, I look into the various reasons that the real estate negotiator and new agent may face in the job as the industry's characteristic. And also we talk about what are the supply side issues and the demand side issue, and how we have a key breakthrough for you to look into hopping on to a new platform called Findway, so that you can look into battling or trying to survive or sustain your business in a platform branding. Thank you very much. I am Thomasin PA2066. Today is 18th of July 2023. These are the URL of my websites. You are welcome to visit them. Thank you again.